You know, it's very strange for me to walk through the streets of Stellenbosch. I was gonna come here. I get a beurs gekry, but it only covered half of my tuition, and then I ended up at UCT because I got a better scholarship there. But that's not what I'm talking about. For a very long time, I felt guilty for messing up because I didn't pass at UCT and I got excluded. And for a very long time, I felt extremely guilty for squandering the opportunity. What I felt like was squandering the opportunity. You must understand, for a middle class kid here at these universities, like, it's beautiful here. It's such a culture shock. They're up against so much. There's so many challenges. First off, most of them come from middle class homes where they're very aware of the fact of the sacrifices these parents have to make to get them here or keep them here. So even if they're even on a scholarship, you are paying a ton of money just to keep your kid. Give your kid pocket money, keep him clothed, because some of these scholarships don't cover books, things like that. And man, very few people get scholarships and stuff like that, right? So for the average person to come here, the fees are challenging, to say the least. And that child is aware of that. And that's another burden they carry. So when they get here, you come from a home where people washed your clothing, your mother made sure you ate, then you are thrust in the middle of this. I came from Port Elizabeth, where I lived with my grandparents, to this sort of environment. You rock up here, Stellenbosch is beautiful. UCT was beautiful. It's a whole different world. You're just used to going to have to study. You're not used to thinking about, oh, I don't have any clothes for tomorrow. Then on top of that, if you come from public school, even a Model C school, you'll notice the jump is huge, especially when you're doing like science or math-based courses, right? So like when I got to first year math, I failed horribly. But the kids came from certain private schools weren't necessarily more intelligent than me. We all got in. We were supposed to all be able to cope. But those guys were breezing through because they did add math, and the level of their high school and primary school education was just what felt like at the time better. And I went to good schools. So it's a very big sacrifice. And I always try and explain this to the parents. So now at least we've got a lot more experience. But when I came here, we were first generation. My parents didn't go to universities. They didn't know what to expect. With Ethan already, he is at such an advantage. If he had to come here, first and foremost, I'm probably going to show him. He's probably going to see Stellenbosch 50 times before in his life, before he has to, if he ever comes and studies at a place like this, before he gets here. So he knows what to expect. When he gets here, it's not like this culture shock. He's also used to it, more used to it than I was. Ek kom van hier, die baie hier sê toe, to this. It's beautiful, it's distracting. Then this deficit you have because of your school, then also the worries you have because you go, oh, I failed and my parents can't, I don't want my parents to pay for this course again. And that feeling you have where you go, I can't call my dad and them again for money. So you go without things. And I come from a home where I had everything. And I just imagine, how's this child it's stacked up against you, man. So basically what I'm saying is I'm forgiving myself for those first couple of years of failing. You can't hang on to these things, you gotta live forward, not backward. But just be aware of what a lot of you guys will know this, that's gone through this process, what it takes to get through a university. Even if your parents are capable of sort of keeping you here. I say sort of because most of South African parents, people's income, most 90% of us can't afford this. Really afford this. Actually, I need to add this as well. I worked really hard and still failed. Really hard. I did not, I like to make jokes as if I came to party, but I didn't. I studied hard. I was just up against, it's very, like the standard is very high. And, you know, you are your own adult because you have to make sure everything, your life, you must try and keep your life together and study. That's why I think girls tend to do better because they're a little bit more mature, they're a little bit more disciplined, they know when to do their laundry so that they don't run out of underpants by Tuesday. But in that video, I just didn't want, it feels like I'm making excuses for not working hard, and I have to put it out there. Alfred Adrian tried his bloody best to pass. He just didn't pass. It took me years to get myself together to figure it out. And it was nothing to do. It had very little to do with my ability or my academic ability. It had a lot more to do with my emotional maturity and my discipline and my, getting used to sort of becoming an adult. But anyway, just thought I'd add that in there. Have a good day.